Hey guys, and welcome to this leadership development module. In this session, I want to discuss for a few minutes the importance of the value of lifelong learning. It's so vital that we as leaders are committed to personal growth and development, and that we as leaders train and the people we lead to also have that same commitment. To think that we've arrived or that we don't need to grow or there's no room for us to grow any further or we can't grow any further, any of those things is kind of like the parable of the talents with the man who stuck his one talent in the ground and thought that he was going to give it back to the master and the master would be happy with him. You see, God has put a seed of potential in a whole host of areas inside you and inside me, and we've all got different seeds of potential in us, and God expects us to steward them and use them well. I found a quote by Galileo that I particularly loved. He said, "I have found that there is no man so ignorant as that I cannot learn something from him." And I thought, what a great advertisement for lifelong learning. Education is not something we ended when we left school or we left uni. Education is something that we continue to be on, a journey of education, learning, discipleship, growth throughout our life. And so in this session, I want you to be thinking about that when you come to the reflection questions. Who are you allowing to speak into your world? What areas of your life are you stretching and growing at this time? And those that you are in leadership positions and influence positions, you need to be thinking about how am I helping those who I'm leading and influencing to grow. We need to view this whole concept of lifelong learning like a chain. There's always someone in front of us that can lead us forward into the area where we're developing and desiring to grow. And there's always someone behind us who's looking to us to learn from where we have already grown. And so we need to be able to identify both those groups of people in our world. And today in your reflection questions, you'll have an opportunity to do that as well. I was chatting briefly with Mick Brownlee after church recently, and he just in a couple of moments said something that stuck with me. He talked about how they're employing a growth mindset with educating students today and what that means. And essentially he said a growth mindset is a view of life that comes to a problem or something that you're not able to do at this point, and rather than says, I can't do that or I'll never be able to do that, it says, I can't do that yet. And I love that because I think what it does is it sends a picture that I'm going to be able to get to that point where I can learn that thing, I can learn that skill. And it also isn't so wishy-washy that it's like, well, God, you'll just give me what you want me to give, and if I don't get it from you, I won't worry about it. It's all in your hands, Lord. It actually shows us that we have a responsibility to grow and develop and steward those gifts. And so I want us to have that mindset in life. If there are areas of our spiritual growth or our vocational growth where we need to upskill, rather than throwing in the towel and saying this is all too hard, if we have a mindset that says, I'm going to grow what God has given me. I can't do that yet, but I'm going to find ways to learn. You see, what that does is it opens up innovative ideas. We start to think outside the box about how we can do things. Rather than coming to these videos and to the mindset of leadership development and say, I'm too crowded out, I've got no time to grow. If we have a mindset that says, no, God expects me to grow, this is a responsibility I have to be growing in some area of my life always, then it's not about working harder, it's about going to God and saying, God, where do I need to stretch? And it's not always a stretch in time. This is the thing. Sometimes God will say, you're actually at capacity. Sometimes he'll say, you actually need to dial back a little bit. But that still doesn't mean you're not stretching. What you're doing is you're refining your life so that you're targeting the areas where God wants you to grow. And so I would love us as leaders to have that mentality ourselves and then take that to the people we lead and teach them the importance of having this mindset that says, I need to grow, I need to develop, I need to become the best at what God has given me so that I can be as most effective for his kingdom and resource his kingdom as effectively as possible. I want us to be committed to lifelong learning. It's a core cultural value of our church. The book of Proverbs says that the wise keep learning and the foolish think they know it all, and all kinds of variations of that verse. We want to be wise people, not foolish. God bless. Talk to you next time.